It's a bit misty today, but it's incredibly quiet again. I love it when it's like this. Just silent. Still. It's so still. A like tiny gentle breeze, which is of course what makes the water shimmer that little bit. Just that little bit. But yeah, 7.8 today. So we now start stepping into what I would deem winter. It dropped below 8. It takes time now. It's gone from about 12 to 8 degrees in the last couple of weeks. But I'd say from here on in, we now step into that little bit more scarf wearing weather, which I am today. I'm wearing a scarf. Yeah. See, it's just starting to rain now. I didn't expect it to do that today. But see how the autumn rust is upon us. It's that point that I think, as I was saying just now about the winter now kicking in. You can feel that we're now kind of progressing, or maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just my take on it. Well, it is my take on it. But the point here is that there's now this. It's more sparse, the colour, and it's what I would refer to as the autumn rust, because the floor gets quite rusty. That's my way of putting it. It brings me to think about something, because I'm always thinking. Well, not always, because I've got to quiet my mind and silence myself so I can have a rest and recharge. But the thing that I was thinking about on the way here that I wanted to share with you was about the whole reason I do this, which there are many: health, fitness, mental state, all of these sort of things, but also something else that I mentioned to my friend this morning, which is the freedom of this is very important to me. And I've been looking into the political state and the government and all this sort of stuff, as we have been doing lately, because obviously it's massively more in light in this country since our Brexiting, our exiting of Europe and COVID and things like that. So there's been a lot more concentration, I believe, than normal, than usual, on the governing state and how that goes on, because of course government is essentially control of how the elected government is put in place, essentially to look after things, supposedly, on how we want them to be, right? And we want them to be safe and comfortable. We want a nice life and a happy life. And so this is what brings me to talk about freedom and concentrate on that a little bit, because this is my freedom. My time here is freedom absolute. And so that's that's very important to me, as I'm sure it is to you, your own state of freedom, whatever that may be, whether it's peace and quiet like I have it here. It's not always peaceful, it's not always quiet, but you know what I mean. That state of being where you feel comfortable and where you feel free, where you feel there's no vices put upon you, no pressure, no control. The only control is yourself. You own yourself, right? Like I own myself. And so when I come to a place like this, that's what that's what's signified by what I mean when I state freedom. This is my freedom, and it's owned by the National Trust and is not exactly it's not exactly far away from civilization or anything like that. It's not that easy to find that sort of place in this country, although it's possible. So what's yours? What's your freedom? Where is it? I mean, truth is, freedom is inside of us, isn't it? And the place that I live feels the people of this town feel particularly strongly about freedom, particularly have done for many, many years, and they fight for it, as you know, or you might not know. Extinction Rebellion. No matter how you feel about them, you got to have a little bit of respect in the fact that they believe in freedom, and it's a very powerful statement that they make. And also going back very, very far to the levelers, even back in the 1600s, it was all about freedom. And so what's your take on freedom? That's what I want to know.